Hi, and I'm Luna from TCA eSports. I'm going to be doing a series of videos titled Lunch with Luna, and essentially it's to tackle the mindset and the attitude and to expand on the leadership inside the games. Now, these are supposed to be short snippet videos in a series, however this one's going to be a bit longer, as there's going to be an introduction as who I am, why I'm doing this, and to give a scope of what's going to come about these videos. So, as I mentioned, I'm Luna from TCA eSports, and I've been in business for a very long time. I've had many different businesses in the past, and I've still run several different businesses. I think the thing that we can take away from that is not the fact that I'm claiming to be, the next Alan Sugar or the Richard Branson, but it's the fact that through the journey in business, I've failed a lot of times, and a lot of those times costed a lot of resources, a lot of finances, and a lot of things along the way. That in itself has taught me a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that I've learned through those experiences that I want to share into here, so that we can build up the right mindset for players who are wanting to go into a competitive scene. Now, my primary audience that I'm wanting to aim these videos at are either players in a competitive scene that are already in a professional environment, or about to go there or aim to go there. However, a lot of the things that I say can still apply to those who have just started out, or those who are playing casually for a bit of fun. I think there's a lot in personal growth and a lot in self-development that it can apply to all stages throughout your gaming career. So let's get into the first video. What I wanted to talk about is the why should always come before the how. Now, a lot of the players that play games and wanting to take it to a competitive level, they focus a lot on how they can become better, how they can get from A to B in the most efficient time. In reference to this, TCA started off with the focus of League of Legends. So I would use League of Legends as one of the references moving forward. However, this applies to other titles that you can think of: CS:GO, Heroes of the Storm. You think about any competitive game that has a setting, you can pretty much apply to the whole thing. Now, imagine you want to become a professional player playing in LCS. Yes, your mechanics has to be really good, and mechanics can be broken down into a lot of different steps. So anything as little down to last hitting, anything down to how you control the minion waves, warding, positioning, team fight, champion matchups. And then there's also the things to understand about the game knowledge, and game knowledge is such a big task that such a big topic that I'm not going to delve into great detail. Same with the mechanics, actually. But what I wanted to tackle is the fact that a lot of players don't actually put themselves into the best environment, or an environment where they can grow with the right mindset and an attitude moving forward. You see a lot of talented players who could reach great heights, but due to their attitude or the way that they set their mindset, you constantly see them in floating around challenger, but never picked up into a team. Some could be due to the toxicity nature of these players, and realistically it's quite off-putting to be co-working with someone that's like that. And what can they change? The first thing that they need to look at is how they treat in the game. At the start of all of this, you have to consider why you're doing this. You have to figure out how strong that why is, and whether it's actually worthwhile for you to pursue. Now, along the way, the why can change, and I generally find that the stronger your desire to achieve this why, so such as your dream, for example, it's my dream to play on an LCS stage, it's my dream to be a professional player. I find that that's not enough. Why is it that you want to be a professional player? Why is it that you want to be playing on stage? What is the recognition there that you want to fulfill? If you don't have a burning desire within you that you want to reach something, very quickly you're going to be demotivated. Maybe in solo queue, after 3 games of losses, and you're instantly on tilt. You're tilting because you're not focusing on what you're wanting to achieve. But now you're more focused on the losses that you've just had. Relating this back to the businesses that we've had before, there's multiple reasons why some of the businesses that we had have failed. And there's never really one reason to why they do. I mean, sometimes it could just be timing, but when we were younger, we were quite naive into building businesses without really thinking too deep about the aspects that's required. But one of the key things in business as to why people continue, and if you take the pattern of, I don't know, the top 100 people that are successful in terms of, I don't know, maybe just 100 richest people on the planet, that did not inherit their money, their wealth, you'll find that there's a common pattern, and it's the desire that they want to succeed because of something. Now, that something generally isn't outspoken. It's not told to many people, but the pattern is still there. So you have to have a reason as to why you want to succeed this badly. This reason, if it's a burning desire of yours, should keep you up at night. It should, when you think about it, maybe even bring a tear to your eye. And that's going to motivate you to keep going. If the reason for going professional is purely money based, your motivation will drop very quickly. Because right now, inside eSports, yes, there are people that can make a lot of money, but realistically, there'll be a time where you catch a period of a patch where you're struggling. During that time, you'll be thinking, well, I can make a lot more money just going to the supermarket and working a full-time job, and I'll get paid a lot more after the end of the year. And that's probably true. But the reward of what you actually get, you won't get the same in the supermarket. So think deep about why you're wanting to go professional, or why you want to climb. Because if it's based on money, it's not going to get you out of bed in the morning when that figure drops. And you find a lot of people that are successful, even inside esports, started out without the money as the focus, and the money came in as a bonus. And there are still people in the scene that are just as active, just as passionate, and do their job extremely well, and they don't get paid that much. But I would classify that as quite successful. They've actually reached the thing that they wanted to reach. Like I said, the money is just a bonus on top. So what is it that you want to reach? Why is it that you want to go professional? Spend a lot of time thinking about the why, and the how will eventually come to you. If you just focus on the game constantly all day long without the thought of the reason as to why you're playing the game in the back of your mind, sooner or later you're going to burn out very quickly. And the mindset that you'll get at that point will be like, why am I even doing this? What's the purpose? Is it worth it? And the moment that you get the negative thought inside you, it only takes one reason to quit. And the reasons to quit can be thousands and thousands, and they could be flowing inside your brain all the time. But it only takes one good reason to stay in the game. And you'll find that there's a lot of people who persevere through the hard times, and they eventually make it through. So lock yourself in a cupboard, and don't come out until you figure out why it is that you want to achieve. Now, tailor this down a little bit more. So for those that are watching this video and thinking, okay, well, I've only just started out in the game, I want to improve, or I've got to a certain level and I don't know, we just want to participate at a local LAN with some of our friends, or one of the biggest LANs in the region with some friends, and maybe we just want to have a goal that's top 10. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. The why extends to the whole team as well. If you're building a team, or if you're building an organization, make sure the why is understood by everyone that's creating the team or part of the team. They join you because of that why. So let's just say you want to be top 10 in the next LAN. Work that as the goal. So you'll be recruiting 4 other people that would buy into that goal and say, hey, we want to go to this LAN, we want to be top 10, and at this LAN, is it something that you're committed to achieving? Or do you want to go higher, or do you want to go lower? You want the entire team to be on the same page, exactly the same page, so they know that we're signing up for that goal. If you have people with different goals, you will have too much distraction inside the team. So you have a player A who is focusing on top 10. So he would want to constantly play and improve. But then player B would be like, I just want a bit of fun. And the problem now is that when you come to practice, player A is very enthusiastic to play. Player B, however, just say, well, do we really need to practice this amount of time for the week, or do we need to play this amount of games tonight? You know, I just want to play a couple of games, have a bit of fun, and I don't care about the meta champions. I just want to play the champions that I really enjoy. And there's nothing wrong in that. It's just that that goal does not fit with this team. So make sure that everyone is on the same page. If you're just wanting a bit of fun, have a whole team for the fun, and you can play whatever champions you wish to play for fun. Otherwise, you're going to start irritating each other because the goals are not the same. The stuff that you want to do or stuff that you don't want to do will end up annoying the other people. If you're creating an organization, I highly recommend that your staff panel is on the same page as you. Where you want to take the organization and how persistent you are is one of the key factors as to why people are attracted to you. Now, of course, the bigger organizations, for example, you know, as you can see, Fnatic this year is going to Worlds. There's a lot of big organizations, so I'm not going to name them all, but I'm going to use Fnatic as an example. They've built up their reputation for in a long time now, and they've got to a certain place where they have a prestigious tag around them that there are people that can buy into that, and they can pick up the prestige, and they can pick up the experience. But if you're starting out, you need to make sure that people are on the same page. How big you vision your organization to be, what kind of time frame you looking to put at, what kind of resources or investment you're planning on putting in, they should be taken into consideration. Now, dream big. Why let anyone else's opinion affect the way that you're going to do your organization or your team, or even players that want to go far? There'll be people that won't like you regardless of how well you do. There'll be people that hate you even if you don't do anything. But your dream has to be bigger than people's opinions. If you're going to quit based on a couple of people's opinions, you need to start thinking back as to why you're doing this. Because there people will start talking negative things about you, whether you like it or not. No matter how good you are, there'll still be negative comments. And if you can't overcome people's opinions because your dream's not big enough, you need to revisit your dream and to make sure that you've got something there that keeps you going. I find that if I have a face attached to the dream, it's something that's a lot more motivating. It brings out the fire inside of you, and it keeps you going a lot further. So by that I mean, for example, one of the reasons that I want to create and establish a big organization is I want to prove that no matter what you put your effort in, as long as you do it without hurting others, and you're persistent about it and you're passionate about it, you can make anything happen. And I want to show that to my little baby boy, and to set that role model as an example that, hey, you can do it. Just don't give up. It doesn't matter if people don't understand what you're doing right now. It doesn't matter if people don't understand the industry that you're part of, or even if it's called an industry. If you believe that you can succeed there and you can actually make something happen, go and make it happen. So that's one of my whys as to why I'm involved. You have to figure out yours. I'm going to cut this relatively short from here. The reason is a big topic that we can go on for about a whole hour to talk about, but I just wanted to start the first video off getting you to start thinking a little bit more, and I'd hopefully like to see your success through some of the paradigm shifts that we can go through from here. So if you like what you've heard here today, or if you've got some comments or suggestions on how we can improve, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter at TCA eSports, and send us a thumbs up over at Facebook at /TCA eSports. And until next time, it's Luna from TCA.